All right, I'm here with Mr. Eric Boyer again. We're talking about marketing around the world and how AT&T does business around the world. So, with networking, how does AT&T create value with what they're doing? How do they make firms want to work with AT&T?
Well, I think that what we're striving for is a consistent experience, and that's really what our customers want. So, a customer like, let's say like General Motors is an example. So General Motors wants to set up a manufacturing plant in Manaus in Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
And so, what they get in by setting up in Manaus, which is in a free trade zone, is they get favorable tax treatment from the government of Brazil. That's because the Brazilian government wants to incentivize growth in a certain geographic position. Manaus is just north of the Amazon in Brazil.
Okay.
And so, they go there because they get favorable treatment and they can establish, certain production facilities in a geographically dispersed part of the world.
Mm-hmm.
But in order to run their business, they need reliable connectivity back to all of their decision control systems.
Mm-hmm.
So, whether it's General Motors or whether it's chemical companies or whomever, anybody who's doing business around the world now, their data is stored, their finances are managed, their processes are managed generally centrally. And so, when you're making a vehicle, the steps are largely the same, whether you're doing it in Manaus or whether you're doing it in Detroit. And so all that information feeds into these systems that are managed globally. And so long story short, they want reliable access to the internet and to data circuits that connect back to their main data centers, which may be in the US, they may be in Europe, they may be elsewhere in Latin America. But the real thing that they're looking for is consistent, reliable bandwidth. And that's the same story whether we're talking about India, or whether we're talking about Brazil, or whether we're talking about the US, or frankly any place else in the world. And so for us, our differentiator isn't that we necessarily offer something special in India or Brazil or wherever. It's that we give companies the security that they're going to get the same thing in those countries that they get domestically.
So each approach, it's like they know that AT&T is going to allow them to connect back no matter where they are.
Yeah, connect back or connect to all of their other locations. So lots of customers do follow the sun kind of work. Software developers do follow the sun kind of work, where one part of the world will work on a project, they go home for the night. The next part of the world's waking up, they pick up the project, and it keeps going. All that's dependent upon connectivity, so that no matter where you are, you've got access to the same information.
You're able to do the same thing. Okay, so that's how AT&T distinguishes itself from other firms. You're able to provide that whole 24/7 connection.
Right.
All right, that got everything. All right, thank you.
That's it.